because I don't want to keep saying the drug traffic, just the drug, because I'm just going to say the guys. So that means the guys that do the drugs. So about 15 years ago, because of the lack of infrastructure, the guys helped to set up transportation within the favela. So this transportation is used by, you know, of course, anybody can use this transportation, but it's funded and backed by the guys. And they're all legal now. Underneath the mirror they have the, what do you call, the license to operate. So interesting how corruption works, that the government doesn't like the drug traffic, but they'll take tax money from the...
They'll get their cut.
But interesting is that, you know, the drug traffic, they help provide jobs, because the driver gets paid and the lady that collects the money gets paid. So interesting to know how corruption kind of works in the city. So I use these. I find they're really safe. Sometimes the buses can be, if you're going to get robbed at a bus, it'll be this. It won't be this combi van. They run 24 hours a day. So a lot of times I bring people in to go to Bali Funk parties, and they leave at 4 or 5 in the morning, and they need to get back to Copacabana, Ipanema, whatever. And I take them down at the bottom of the hill in Hasina. We have a bunch of these, so I take people to pick up the vans to get back home. So we have transportation 24 hours a day inside the favela. And we have motor taxis too that will take you to the top of the hill. And to get to the top of the hill on a motorbike, it takes about 10 minutes. If you take a van, it takes about 20 minutes. If you were to walk, it would take about an hour and a half. So I use the motor taxis a lot.
Are we going to be taking the motor taxis today?
Yes. I'm sorry.
On this tour, you do the motor.
Yeah, we're going to go all the way to the top. We're going to go where the tours don't go. There's a place called Visual. In English, visual, I guess, or vista view. And you'll be able to see the Christ statue and the sugar loaf, and you'll see $1 million view from the favela. So because I live there, I like to take people to places that other tours don't go. Whatever, you just ask and we'll do it. It's part of the uniqueness of what I like to do.
So, even though the favelas are unofficial in terms of the government, they've still got commercial stores in that.
Of course, because the people there have created this.
Right, okay.
Hasina is over 80 years old.
Whoa, okay.
So there's a lot better infrastructure now there.
Yeah.
Because we're also located in the south zone, Zona Sul. People need to get to work. A lot of people that live in the favelas work in the hotels. They drive taxis. The women usually are maids or work as cashiers, or more, how do you say, like simple type work, because a lot of people in the favelas don't tend to have a lot of education because it's not provided for them.
So there's no schools?
There are schools, but the schools just don't provide people to make the next step to go to university.
Yeah.
Quality of education, unfortunately, is not very good.
Yeah. It's the same in the U.S. Oh yeah, like in the poor cities and the minority neighborhoods, the quality of education is way lower than the wealthier neighborhoods.
It's a lot harder to get out.
Yeah, so.
But in the favelas, it's hard because you might have a parent or two that has a store or sells stuff or whatever, and of course when they have children, they kind of drag the children into that too. It's like a workforce, and they don't do it on purpose, but it's a necessity, right? To survive, so unfortunately, a lot of kids, like maybe the parents are not very educated. They have a store where they sell vegetables or fruits or something. And, they kind of absorb the kid when they're 13 or 14, so a lot of times you get children that'll drop out of school because it's almost like a necessity to help the parents run the store. You want to do programs, they have a hotelaria program where you can learn how to work in a hotel, whether reception or they have a tourism certificate that you can earn, which I went through here. For anybody who lives in the favela, it's free. So it's nice. And they have a daycare to the right. You'll see the little kids with all orange shirts. They're 5 and under. They wear all orange, and then these are the junior high students here. When you wear these T-shirts, they go to public school, and you can get on the buses free, but you have to wear your T-shirt. This woman walking up, just gonna pass us now in the gray shirt. She's in high school. So these are kind of up till, I don't know, about 8th grade or so, 7th, 8th grade, what would be equal to. And then you have the high school, which is over there. Hey, how are you? This is Miyagi. This is my friend. He lives in Hasinia. He's gonna come along because he wants to be a tour guide. And of course he wants to learn English, and he's wearing a shirt that I made. This is a Bali Funk, turn around. These are all the neighborhoods. We have 26 different neighborhoods in Hasinia, or areas. So, tudo bem? Legal. Você recebeu minha mensagem, né? Legal. É muito importante, So this building here, I'm also a jiu-jitsu teacher. Been doing jiu-jitsu 16 years, and they have a program here run by Flavio Canto. Oh yes, Flavio Canto. He's very famous. He's a silver medalist in the Olympics for judo. So the programs that they have here are free for all the residents, which is good because the government really doesn't give too much to people in favelas. So I think it's kind of nice to have some
they have a
programs.
sport complex that they built for the out-of-government money.
Oh yeah, we'll see that when we get up in the Pasarela. Also, the judo program instills that all the kids that, if you want to be part of the jiu-jitsu or judo programs, you have to be doing well in school. So they look at your card to make sure that your grades are good. You also have art classes and classes that promote good citizenship, like how to speak properly. Because if you turn, you look at the favela, they think it's ugly. You know, I don't think it's ugly. I think it's beautiful. It's ingenuity. It's human creativity. You know. And people who are doing the best they can with what they have, you know?
Alright, here I'm on the footbridge, about to enter Hosinia.
Okay, I want to get a picture of all of you. Project, which is Programa Aceleração de Crescimento, which is basically re-urbanization of the slums. So, because we have the World Cup in 2014
make it look good.
and 2016, the government is trying to clean up the place. They're not going to come in and tear it all down. We have 300,000 people that live here. If they tear it down, they are then responsible to replace the 300,000 people. So they're doing these projects. They have the football field. There's a swimming pool, there's a class of the skates for skateboarding and all sorts of stuff, and basketball court, surf school. They're building a new footbridge. This is the Pasarela. They're building a new one over there.
Oh, this is the Pasarela.
This is the Pasarela.
Ah.
Yeah, the footbridge. So, you know, the important thing is that the people need to know that this all looks pretty, but this doesn't solve the problems of this. People need proper running water. They need proper education, health care, electricity that works almost all the time. They need opportunity for jobs and not to be socially excluded and discriminated against because they live in a favela. When I leave the favela, if I'm going for a job, I have to cover my tattoos and say that I don't live in a favela. I have to lie. Because if I say I live in a favela, I won't get the job. Because they think that everybody that lives here is criminals, you know. It's not true. So a lot of different favelas are doing these slum reurbanization. I know Complex to Alamão was doing it. You know, just for apartment buildings. So they are trying to help, which is good. But we need proper sewer systems. We need things that are necessities. This is pretty, but this doesn't solve a lot of the problems that people really think about. The woman that lives in Roupa Suja, Masega, who lives in a shack that doesn't have running water or electricity, doesn't care about this. She cares that her children are going to have a good education, or that there's opportunity to receive services, you know, electricity, water, all these things, you know. So we're going to walk to the end right there. We'll talk about the electricity.
Oh.